Everybody, welcome back to another Strawberry Sundaes podcast. We have got the young stallion, AngusTwitch, with us
The nervous
today.
stallion, AngusTwitch. Angus is fucking nervous as fuck.
How are we today, fella?
I'm good, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I woke up at 1 because I've been up for like what? How long? Mm, how long is it? How long have you been up for? If you've been up since like 10 a.m. the day before and then go to sleep at like what? Probably like 11 p.m. That's like what? 24, like 32 plus hours. So I was up
Yeah.
for a very very long time. It was
You could
fucking
tell. You could tell that you've got the age, bro. Because
it was
let me tell you,
disgusting.
if I tried to do that now,
It was
you wouldn't
disgusting,
catch
bro.
me for 3 or 4 days, bro. Honestly. Also, quick one before we get into it. Shout out Jade and Aki coming through the
Oh, I
merch,
saw that.
the Strawberry Sundays merch. Very shocked, but that is, yeah. I was, oh yeah,
That is sick, actually. It looks good quality
speechless,
as
man.
well.
Um, yeah. So for the people that don't know you in the chat, let's just get a bit of an introduction and let's get things going.
Fucking hell. Okay, I'm Angus. I'm 17. I've been streaming Warzone COD for like what 11 months now, since like June. I've been playing for years, but the thing is, I've never competed because I'm really young. And I never really was into the competitive side. Like I used to play like League play when I was a kid, but that's it. As I'm sure many other people did. Um, but I never started streaming until literally June 2020 when the first lockdown started. Just as a way to to do something because there was
Mm.
nothing to do. Like I'm looking at, I just used to for the first like 3 weeks of lockdown. I just used to sit in my room doing absolutely nothing but play Warzone. And then who did I run into? I started watching this guy on Twitch. He's called Blackford. I don't know if anyone knows him, but he's been in competitive COD scene. Anyway, uh, I knew of him, and the reason I started streaming was basically because of him. But you know how I'm really close with Mike Revolt.
Mhm.
So it turns out I was playing with Josh Blackford. Shout out to him, by the way. And I was playing with him. We ran into Mike, and we were in quads. Mike was playing solo quads as he does. And he fucking sorry for swearing. I don't know if I should. He runs into us. He kills us all. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Tune to his stream, and he's just sat there playing solo chords with like music blasting. He's just doing his thing. So I'm like, what the hell? And we like this guy. So it's a weird fucking. But so he inspired me to start streaming. I watched him as well. I watched loads of other people. KK. I could probably name a bunch, but honestly, the pressure's on, so I can't really think of many names. There's a bunch of people that like I started watching, but my point is, I started watching Twitch before like I got involved. I got a Twitter, changed that into my Twitch account. Um, Grew through there, I guess. Started streaming, did well for myself. I honestly don't know how. Like everything that's happened, I can't. I'd love to explain it. I'd love to be like, yeah. If you want to grow as a young content creator or whatever, I'd love to like come up with some advice. But honestly, the whole thing that's happened, it's been a movie. Like I don't get it. But I think a lot of people like from the community that I found out about in the start have helped me a lot. Back in the Aberdeen Angus Beef days, that was my old name. That was like one of my first ever names. And yeah, so we're here now. I suppose I've kind of even forgotten the question that you've asked at the start, but we're here now, aren't we?
But let's not get it twisted. You've put a hell of a lot of hard work in to the grind and growth, especially on Twitch and Twitter. So that
Yeah,
alone,
yeah, definitely.
um, you know, is something that you should be proud of.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Yeah.
so let's go. We'll go right back to the start. So, like you say, you got the interest from sort of Twitch, coming up, just watching people stream, all that kind of thing. That then got you into like the streaming side of things. But
Mm.
you're saying you're playing Call of Duty first. What was like your first sort of like itch for Call of Duty?
So the first COD I ever played was back in it must have been like what I think it's 2012 when Black Ops 2 were out. And anyway, so I played that, and my first experience of that was basically just like League play and just playing just playing S and D all day. and 2012. Let's think how old I was. I must have been. God, how old must I have been? Like 10? Yeah, genuinely 10 years old. 10 years old. Playing Black Ops 2 all day. Sweated the game out. What I thought I did, but considering how much I played Warzone now, I did not play a lot. But I played that as much as I could. I loved it. I love watching Optic play. Back in the day, back the old roster, like fucking Scumpy and all that. So I used to watch them. I used to play League play as a kid. And I don't even know, man. That was my first experience, and then after Black Ops 2, to be fair, I kind of stopped playing COD because Ghost came out, and I wasn't feeling it. I just didn't like the game. I didn't feel the hype behind it, and obviously, as that was my first COD, I was only 10 years old. I wasn't really like what's the word, like dedicated to the game because I was 10. I had no idea. Anyway, so I stopped playing COD after Black Ops 2. And I moved over to CSGO. I had a PC at the time, which I got to play Minecraft because I was 10, remember? Anyway, so I got that to play Minecraft. I found out about a game called CSGO. I played that. I played an incredible amount of hours on that. I think like over 3K hours now. So pretty much, as much as like COD was like one of my first experiences of like gaming and stuff, I played that. That was like my game. I played a mouse and keyboard. Anyway. And then that was kind of a blur. Like I got lost in education, all that. Just focused on that. I've got kind of like a strict family, so they push that a lot. If that makes sense. So I got lost in that for a while. A couple of years go by, just living my life, whatnot. And then I'd love to skip to Warzone now, but I'm sure there was things in between. Anyway, I come out to Warzone. This is my first COD in years, like since AW. Like I played AW, I think, a little bit. This is my first COD in years. So it's kind of crazy. I don't know. It's crazy to think about like what I've done with it and how like I'm decent at the game considering I haven't I haven't like played COD for the past like years. But yeah, I suppose that sums it up, I think.
Yeah, so in terms of, like you said, we'll go to like sort of start of Warzone now. So did you play from the start, or is it something that you got into later on as it picked up?
Yeah, I think I joined late. I think I joined like I started playing. So I started streaming in June. I must have started playing late April, I think. Just with my friends. One of my RLs, Jake, I used to play a lot of games with him. And because school ended. So we were trying to find ways to like stay in contact and whatnot because he was just doing his own thing. I was doing my own. He was going to a different college and whatnot. Sorry, he was in a college at the time that I wasn't in. So we tried to stay in touch. Started playing Warzone. I pushed it to play with him because he didn't like the idea of it. We started playing that together. And then, I'm not going to lie, I've kind of forgotten the question. I'm not going to ask it. What was the question?
So just sort of like you kind of answered it, to be fair, in terms of how like if you were coming in late or not into Warzone. But we'll dive into a bit more into Warzone, and some of the accolades that you've kind of achieved this year in such a small amount of time. The growth that you've had, the support you've had from certain individuals within the sort of community has been incredible. But I think that's kind of testament to yourself in terms of how much effort you've put in, again, in such a short amount of time. Like you say, with the 24 hours that you did yesterday or day before, you can tell that even though you've had that success already, sort of thing, that the grind's still there, the fire's still there for you to keep, pursuing that.
Yeah, God, yeah, definitely.
Do you want to sort of go into like how you felt through the times of all these, like raids and these tourneys with the big players that you've been involved with?
You want me to like go through like the first ever ones and like what happened and stuff?
Yeah, let's timeline it. Let's
God, I'll try my best because I'm not gonna. I don't want to be like weird flex, but like did a lot. But there's been like loads of like events like that. You know what I mean? Like just yesterday, playing with like FaZe Blue. That's mad, right?
Mm.
Anyway, right. Okay, let's go back to the start. Oh god. Okay. Oh god, there's funny stories about this alongside this one. So one of my first ever big tourneys was like I was talking about Mike. So I get to know him. He's playing this KD Cup quads tournament, and he needs like a he had a player. He's playing with KK, I think, but he had to drop out. He needed like space for this KD. Anyway, um, they invited me to this one. This is like I think I'll say this is my first big tournament. So it was with Mike, Jaff, Trance, and KK, I think it was. Anyway, I get invited. I asked to play. And what happened that night didn't actually end up playing the tournament because because my PS4 had a stinker, and it basically just blew up me at the very start. Couldn't end up playing it. So that happened. There was a clip of it. I don't know if anyone remembers in the chat.
Yeah.
Do you remember it? Have you seen it? It's the.
Do you know what? I wasn't actually going to bring it up because I didn't know if it was like a topic that you might not have wanted to speak about.
God, that was hilarious.
But that is probably the funniest thing I've seen.
I'm not gonna lie. It got my name out there. It was,
oh yeah, of course it does.
If anyone from the chat can get the clip, just post it in the chat if they can get the middle one up. Because that, oh my god, what a moment! It was, and that was in the same week where everything mad else happened with my stream. That was like the week. I think I'm trying to pinpoint where it was. It must have been. I'm probably gonna say August 2020. That was like a major growth spike for my stream. And I got involved with like loads of other players. Obviously, I tried to play that tournament. With them, it didn't work out. That was a funny Twitter clip or not. Anyway, that week, I think I was home alone, and I streamed for a ridiculous amount of time because I was still in lockdown. Obviously, I had nothing else to do. Workle's got the clip. You can put it in some of the mods or something. Anyway, so that week, I think I got raided by Jukies, right, and Vap, and they started to get to know me. I learned of them. And I think I did like at least two 24-hour streams within that week. It was mad. So that was a massive like growth spike for my stream. Anyway, prioritizing tournaments, like we'll talk about that. So obviously that first one failed. I'm trying to think of the next one really. Like there's a few big ones that I've played to be fair, but I think like the second earliest big tournament that I've played was the one with Jukies and Delio. That was mad. that is actually crazy. I'll still keep that up there as like one of the best moments in streaming for me. Like that was crazy. I think obviously it was another KD Count tournament. I tweeted under it saying I'll play. Loads of people vouched me, and they got me in, and it was the circumstances of it were not good. So oh my god! Right, so the night of the tournament, I was supposed to be taking the day off streaming, and I was with Jake, one of my RLs, like I said before. I was with him, and we we planned on getting a takeaway and like drinking, just doing random stuff. And then last second, before like he gets there, I get invited to this tournament, and it was a madness. Like it genuinely was. It was one of the biggest things for me at the time. It still is, to be fair. And on the night, like I had 60 people in there without a host. It was just mad. It was crazy. So that's like one of the big ones that I ever did. Oh God, my mind's blank when it comes to thinking of more. It really is, man.
But even with such a small, like you say, you've named a few, but even one of those for like a standard casual streamer would be huge. The fact that you've been able to have so many of these opportunities and proved yourself to then get other opportunities is mind blowing.
Yeah, definitely. I think I made like an impression. To be fair, like to be fair to myself, I think I did like make an impression, like for both streaming and playing. I think like back then. My point is like everything that I've done like at the start has led me up to what I am now and what I'm doing now, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah.
But again, I go back to sort of the hard work that I was on about. Anytime I click on Twitch, you're live, man. Like the grind that you're putting in.
See, I get that, right? Like, I think someone else said it to me. I don't know who it was. Someone else said that to me. It was like, whenever I click on Twitch, you're live, and a few people said that to me. But I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't see that.
No.
Like, I don't. Like, obviously, I stream it a lot. I'm not gonna lie to myself, but I don't know. Like the past, because I'm in full-time education at the moment, and I do care about it a lot. So like I'm trying to prioritize that because I'm in the last like few weeks of that now. So as much as I'm streaming a shit ton, I don't know. Like I've tried to take the foot off the pedal a little bit, like just a little bit, just to prioritize it more. But I guess I suppose I'm like streaming a lot. But like I said, I don't see it as much of a grind as I ever put in. I don't. It's weird to hear people say like, "Oh, you grind a lot." Sometimes I find it difficult to be like, "No, I need to work harder." If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, definitely, and I think that's a good characteristic to have, not just to be like, yeah, I do grind, yeah, I do this. Like, it's a good characteristic to feel that you're not where you want to be. You want to keep driving until
Yeah.
you're successful in what you want to do, and that's a real good characteristic to have, especially in this sort of game.
I don't know. I suppose it could go either way though. It could because like I work very hard on it, and I put in the hours, and I at least sleep over it sometimes because of college and whatnot. But as much as it could be a good thing, and I think it's important to realize as a streamer, if I'm giving any sort of advice out, I'll give this. Like if you hear other people's opinions on you working hard, like you gotta believe it, because if they see it, then it's most likely true. I think a lot of people can see that. A lot of people can look at their own work and be like, "Nah, I'm really not working hard enough here." But if you hear from a lot of other people that you are, then you got to take it. Like, because I think working too hard can definitely ruin you. Like, it's a matter of like quality over quantity sort of thing. Obviously, streaming for ridiculously long hours and stuff is really a good thing to do because I think it can help you grow a lot. I mean, yesterday I did a 24-hour stream just like that, right? And it was great. It's a big sacrifice. People see it, they respect it. But equally, you gotta listen to other people, people that care about you and stuff, and be like, okay, right, let's calm down a little bit. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. You've got to realise, when you're pushing yourself a bit too much, take a step back. Yeah, so I can appreciate that. We're going to go back to sort of when you mentioned that your parents obviously quite strict, as you've grown up through school, that sort of thing, where you had the partial break from Call of Duty. How do they see it now that you are a bit older? You're obviously, like you say, you're still in education. You're still putting that time to education, but obviously you're putting a lot more time into your gaming as well.
Yeah, it's a funny one because like it's weird. They see it as like gaming, right? They always refer to it as gaming. When I'm like, it's not. It's deeper than that because like I've been gaming for years and I used to hate it as a kid because I used to put a stupid amount of time into it for how old I was. And now that it's transferred to this, I'd love them to see it as more than gaming. And they understand the premise of it. They understand how it works. I suppose I've tried to explain it to them as much as I could. People sit there, watch me. It's difficult to explain to people who really just don't understand it. I mean, they're quite old, I think, for parents of my age. Anyway, like I think they do understand it. And I've tried to explain it to them. Like I said, I wouldn't say they look down upon it anymore. I think they used to because, like I said, they didn't understand it, but now they sort of do. So they don't look down upon it, and they are honestly like the most caring people in my life. They really care. But they only want the best for me. But I think sometimes they just don't really see it as a real thing. They obviously want me to prioritize my education, and like I am. And I think I'm going to get out of that what I need. and they've helped me do that 100% because I could have got lost in it. I could have been like, right, screw the school stuff because like the amount of success could have just like told me that way. If that makes sense, I could have just been like, right, nah, school's not for me. Like, this is great. I love doing this. And I sort of do see in that way, but I know that I need to get what I need to get out of school. And they've helped me. They've pushed me to that, and I think they are quite supportive about the whole streaming thing. Regardless of them never actually watching my stream or ever seeing it, I think they are like quite supportive over it, which is a really cool thing. And I'm definitely blessed to have that because I know a lot of people don't, and a lot of people find it hard to talk to the parents about wanting to stream, and quite frankly, they just don't do it because they're too scared to. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think there's still sort of a stigma attached to gaming, long periods of time, and streaming and that sort of thing. But it is getting a lot easier for people to understand that you can make a career out of something like this.
Yeah.
And because people more that obviously at the high end of streaming, people like Nick Merckx, Ninja, stuff like that, that are branching out to like Ninja with Adidas and stuff like that. So you're seeing people, succeed and go off the other end of the scale and sort of like he's been on talk shows and all sorts, and that
Yeah,
sort
definitely.
of that does open the gate for the smaller streamers like me and yourself, where we're getting in that groove and people understand, like you say, parents and friends and stuff like that understand that, yeah, if you put the work in and you wanted to, this is what you wanted to do as a career, then it's more than capable.
Yeah, and I think it's also like alongside of that, I think the whole point that I try to stress to them is, like alongside the career aspect is like I've got a whole social circle off this. Like I've got like genuine friends that I've met that I've made out of this. Streaming's a great way to like talk to people, I suppose. So like, oh God, like yeah, like I 100% agree with what you're saying, but I think there's also like that to consider as well. Like 100%, like for other people considering it because it's a hard thing to make a career out of, right? To have like a full-time job in this like scene is like incredibly difficult. You got to be in a certain position to do that. So I think the main point for me, like when I explain it to parents or other people and whatnot, is like you can make loads of friends from this. You can like just have experiences that you can't really have in other like fields of life. Does that make sense? Like other paths down life. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And I'm still
No, no,
learning.
I can understand that.
And
And like you say, you're still young, so you've got,
yeah,
it's not something that you have to decide what you want to do with your life in terms of career and that sort of thing right now. So you've got the opportunity to kind of pursue all avenues,
yeah, right,
which is obviously good from your side of things. You can sit here and you can enjoy yourself. You can, if you want to stream, you can stream. If you wanted to, pursue something after education, then that's something you can choose to do.
definitely.
And I think that's good with the gaming side of things, with stuff like confidence, like you were saying, and those sorts of aspects that you can gain from gaming. It's not just a case of sitting and playing a console. You can get genuine friends.
Yeah.
So I think there's a hell of a lot more positives than what people see sort of gaming until you've experienced it yourself that you don't necessarily see.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
definitely.
We'll go back. We spoke briefly on sort of your first gaming experiences, but what was the very first gaming experience that you can remember?
Like very first, like as in any type of gaming.
Any game, yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I don't have to go back very far because I'm only 17, but still for me, that's like a long time. Oh, it must have been. Yeah. So as a very young kid, I don't know how old I was, but first ever like gaming experience I had was a PS2, and I used to play whatever I could. I loved it as a kid. It was my brother had it, and I used to ask him, like begging to play. And we had think we had 2 games. We had Crash Bandicoot. Don't know what game it was, but Crash Bandicoot game. I used to love that game so much. And so I played that. And I don't even know what the other game was at this point. Something stupid, but that was my first ever experience of any game. It was mad, and I was addicted to it as a kid. Obviously, I don't really remember that much because I must have been 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah.
But and then I played on like a PSP, the PSPs back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day, God, I'm only 17. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. PSPs, the DSs, all that. But yeah, the PS2 Crash Bandicoot. That was my first ever experience, and it was a good one. To be fair, I used to love it. I just remember sitting in my brother's room just playing it like for hours. Remember
That's
that?
crazy. That's crazy. Because, like you say, speaking to you, you can tell that you are mature for your age. Like, I can't tell that the way that we're speaking and you're talking about your experiences and that. You don't sound like you are 17.
Yeah,
But then going on that question and you're saying that it's a PS2 and stuff like that.
like, bro, this whole maturity thing, like, God, it's so difficult to tackle. I think because I think I've naturally been like more mature, like growing up and stuff. I have my moments, obviously, because literally in Microsoft's chat, my command is something I don't know what it is, but it's like small doses on the end of it because I can get a bit too much, and I get that right because that's just like a product of me being a 17-year-old kid at the end of the day. But yeah, like I think I try my best to be a little maturer than maybe I should be, because not being who I am, but doing what I do, streaming, all that. You got to think about that. I'm mostly surrounded by people at least in the 20s, 20 mid 20s on a push maybe, and like I have to be in a certain way, or I have to focus on being in a certain way to even, I don't know, to be respected, maybe to just seem like a normal person within the scene, not just some kid.
Yeah.
You get me? Like,
Yeah, I think the kind of things that you're trying to say is that like you don't want to be like stereotyped as just a young kid that's just like full of excitement and just like and like you say where like you're saying about the joke that you're saying with like small doses and that sort of thing. You don't want to be that guy that the bigger players, so to speak, that you've played with are like. Well, I don't really want to play with him because
yeah,
he was a
exactly.
bit immature and that sort of thing. So
Yeah,
and that can ultimately down the line like ruin opportunities for you.
right. Yeah, because they'll always see me as one thing. That makes
Exactly.
sense.
But like I said, I can't like obviously if you'd not told me and I'd and we'd not spoke about it previously, I wouldn't have known that
Yeah,
you were
that's a question.
17.
How old do you think I would be if you had no idea, if you had literally no idea,
I
and
would
you
go sort of like really early 20s, so I'm going 2021. So like
that's mad.
yeah, but obviously then that question itself,
12.
PlayStation 2, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, okay, that chucks out of the window. Um, but we'll go on to sort of the best content moment to date. Now we'll go for this is all to do. We'll do this based solely on Twitch.
Okay, best
Your best
content moment
content.
today.
Yeah.
Oh god. There's so many. There's a few things that I'd put up there. Go on, Jade. Oh god. See. Best content moment today. Like the all-time best. I'm trying to think. Maybe the Symphony raid and just that day in general, but I hate to be like, oh, a raid was the best moment, because like a raid on Twitch, like they are amazing, right? If you get raided by a big streamer, it's amazing. But I don't want to be like, that's the best ever moment, because then it's like, well, what are you? Like, is it, are you just made from other people, or what's your best moment? You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So it's like the Gulag. Oh god, man! That's up there. I think the tournament with Jukies and Delio, that was huge for me. I was so stoked to do that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's a bit of a vague question in a way, because I can maybe say that really long stream that I did ages ago, back in, it was September, maybe August. I did a 32.5 hour stream or something, and that was mental because, like, I got big raids throughout, and I just had a ton of fun doing that. So that's up there. Oh God, man, there's genuinely so many. And like just yesterday, it was an amazing stream. Like, so it's it's hard to do that, but I'd definitely say that we've touched on the best moments before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um.
No, definitely.
So yeah, I mean that's my answer. I'd love to give a straight like.
Honestly, I think it's so mad that the period of time that you've been streaming, the amount of like high moments that you've had, absolutely crazy.
Definitely,
Absolutely
man.
crazy.
Definitely.
But again, like I said, it's not something that you've not worked hard for. You have put the graft in, so it's it's not something that you don't. What's the right word for it? You don't. Yeah, basically,
Yeah, I know.
don't deserve something that you don't deserve. It is something that's well deserved.
I do get that, but sometimes with everything going on, it's like, how do I? I mean that's the thing that comes in every streamer's mind, content creator's mind. It's like, how do I deserve all the support? But I suppose so. Like, I just want to be honest about it. I really don't know sometimes, son. I really don't.
So one thing that I did want to sort of ask as well. So when COVID hit, and it was something that was towards the start of your
so
streaming,
COVID
wasn't it?
lockdown started like March, and I
Yeah.
started playing again around like April. Started streaming in like late May, start of June, I'd say.
Was that sort of a big influence for you to really kick off and really put your mind to and put the hours in for Twitch?
Well, definitely, yeah. But before, if the truth is, if lockdown didn't happen, none of this would have happened. Like, I had no plans to game really that seriously, like I used to as a kid. I was just quite happy doing education, just gaming with my friends, whatever. If lockdown didn't happen, yeah, there's just no shot that like any of this would have happened. There's just no way. Yeah, there's literally, it wouldn't have happened. This is a product of lockdown, I suppose. So in that way, COVID's blessed me as much as it's like damaged me, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, especially it's good to look back on such a dark period for like the country and the world and that sort of thing, to see that actually there has been so many successes within, like, personally, like yourself, actually being able to really put your mind to being able to pursue streaming and really put the hours in.
Definitely. I mean, yeah.
So we've gone on to sort of like certain people that you've worked with, and you've worked with a hell of a lot of people that are really, really up there. But this one's really going to get you.
Oh God, well.
Best person you've ever worked with in the scene, and why?
Best person I've ever worked with.
We're not going to let Jukies or Delio be in this one.
Right, define work with then.
So whether that be in a tournament, whether that be just literally just playing pubs, whether that be if they needed an extra person for some sort of content that they were doing where you've jumped in.
So basically someone that like I've interacted with, right? Like someone Mike? Has to be Mike. Like he's not I mean Jesus, he's a big streamer now, really, Mike, isn't he? But he's that guy has done a ridiculous amount for me. Like, you wouldn't believe. Like, he's genuinely, like, I consider him a good friend now. You know what I mean? At this point, like, as much as I piss him off, he's a good friend to me. That guy has done a hell of a lot. Yeah, it has to be Mike, 100%. There's just no way that it isn't. I think even if you said, I know he just said, don't put Jukies and Dealer into the mix because that was a big tournament and whatnot. I wouldn't even. I don't think I'd consider them. Like, Jukies has done a hell of a lot for me as well, over the time that I streamed. But Mike is just, you know what I mean. Like, he was one of the first people that brought me into the community. one of the first people I met in the community. It's just no competition there, I don't think, for that question, really, if that makes sense.
No, of course it is. I've got a lot of time for that as well. You're staying true to the people that, like you say, other people have helped you in the future and that sort of thing. But the real people that have helped you from the start and helped you grow from the start are the people that, like you say.
I mean, man, like this. I've got to say, I've got to give. Like, if I'm shouting Mike out there, like, I think KK's also done a lot for me as well. You know, KK the Burger. He's wow. I mean, like without Mike and KK, I think them together, because I know they're close friends as well. They've really helped me out. As a pair, if that makes sense. I don't know if I can cheat the question, but I kind of have to. Like, I have to mention him in some way. He's what a guy KK the Burger is.
Yeah, but both, unbelievable people.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the well, we've got 2 more questions.
Ooh.
So again, this is just on the flip side of things. So if you could work with someone that you've not worked with,
Ooh.
again, whether that be just to play a game of Warzone, create a bit of content, that side of things, who would it be? And we'll actually do as well, if you had like a specific organisation that you wanted to work with or anything like that, I'll even branch it out for that for you.
Okay, right. In terms of a person that I'd love to even just like do a stream with or play a few games with, maybe Syndicate, because he was a huge part of my childhood, really. I think I probably think Syndicate. He's a cool guy, isn't he? And he was a huge part of my childhood. Like, I used to watch him every single day as a kid. And he obviously still plays Warzone streams now. So maybe one day, I think that'd be amazing. That'd be a really cool moment for me, like personally. Even aside from the streaming stuff, because obviously, like I said, he was a huge part of my childhood. In terms of like organizations, obviously, like Jade's already said in the chat, Delirium. I've tried to join them and tried to do a thing with them. Hasn't really worked out. I'd love to work them. That'd be amazing. That's a dream. But not gonna say much, but just look out. Everyone knows about it already, really. But you just gotta look out for Kaizen and the things that they're doing with Carl and everything. I won't say much on it, but it's kind of a dream being involved in that in some aspects already. So, but obviously, like Delirium, how amazing would that be? How amazing would that be to push my content out like that? That'd be amazing. But yeah, I think that's my answer for that, if that makes sense. But yeah.
Right. So the last question. This is just completely just non-COD related, non-Warzone related.
Mm-hmm.
You can relax.
Can I? God.
You're on an island, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is survival time now. I'm gonna allow you to take one person with you.
One person.
And then 3 items. And you gotta survive.
Shit, what would you take? See, I'm the least practical person. I'm the least like you ask me to do anything like help you build a shed or something, I'll just say no because I just can't. Right, 1 person, 3 items for an island. Oh god. Oh god, man. Bro. Has it got to be someone that I know or just anyone? Literally anyone?
Well, I'm not going to let you have someone like Bear Grylls because obviously you could look after him.
I was just going to ask like someone like that, but yeah.
I'll give you. It's got to be someone like a streamer that you know, or
it's got to be a streamer.
Yeah, let's do that.
See, there's not many people that wouldn't piss off in time. Oh God.
It's got to be someone that's going to look after you. If you're saying you're useless, it's got to be someone that's.
No, I'm not useless in that scenario, but I'm not going to be the guy that's like saving your life or anything. I don't. Who would you pick? I don't know. I feel like I'm lost. I'm genuinely stuck. I don't know who I'd pick. I genuinely don't know.
Right, so I'll put you on there. I'm going to put you with Mike.
No, that just wouldn't work.
You and Mike are on an island, right?
I'll just
You
piss
got
him off.
3 items.
All right, 3 items. Okay. 3 items. Let's think. What do you actually need? What do you need? You probably need how big can the items be?
You can have whatever you want. Except obviously, like, you can't have like a plane or something like to get off the island. That's not.
Maybe like, would you want like a sword? I feel like I'd want like a sword or something. I don't know. Would you like? I don't know. To hunt
Yeah,
or
I
something?
mean, yeah, that's.
Bridge. Oh, yeah. Maybe a sword. I don't know. That makes sense to me. A sword. Maybe. No, you probably wouldn't need a compass for an island, would you? I mean, I'd need my glasses if that is. Does that count?
No, I'll let you take your glasses
All right,
off.
sound. I'm not. Oh, people let me cheat. See, now I want to pick that up. I can't say that now. Maybe a compass. I'll say a compass because that makes sense, but I don't know how to use a compass, so it wouldn't make sense. A sword and maybe a lighter. And someone
Yeah,
said
to
that in the
create a bit
chat
of
as well. Yeah,
create a bit
okay,
of fire.
right. Sound a sword, a lighter, and what did I pick? Oh god,
Compass.
I wouldn't use it though. No, I wouldn't. Right, let me think
Yeah.
of another one.
You've got one more.
A book, like a book in it, like something to read.
Keep yourself
But it has to be
sane.
something like meaty though, doesn't it? It has to be like
Yeah.
it has to be like a long ass book. I don't know what I'd pick because I don't read that often. But
Like Harry Potter, the books are like.
well, nah. I'd say isn't I swear like Game of Thrones like you could like they have like an all-in-one book, right? So you can just read that. That's huge.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Mike
I'm
is
not too
fucked.
sure.
Yeah, Mike would be fucked. Mike would be absolutely. Like I told you, you wouldn't want to. That's what I didn't say him because for a reason. Anyone who's on an island with me to survive, you either have to kill me. And that's it. Actually, you probably just have to kill me. I think.
Is that why you've packed the sword? Just in case.
No, then just give it to them. And
Just say, look, you keep this.
Yeah, that's my
So,
island.
so you're with Mike. You got a sword, a book, and a lighter. I mean that. To be fair, at least you've got. If you need to burn the book, you can. If you need to read it, you can. You've got a sword for food and that. A lighter for fire. I think you've done quite well there.
I think I've done alright.
Oh, right. So, I appreciate you coming on. For one
It was
thing.
fun.
One thing someone said in the chat. I mean, chat. By the way, you got to excuse the snarls. I've got hell of a big snarls. But they were saying that if I turn to my side, it looks like I'm talking to you directly.
I can't remember that. Well, that's not his bad. That's my bad because that's my normal
like
camera
this.
angle, and I'm way too like. Yeah, how would that make sense? Oh no, it would make sense. No, it's just that's weird though.
That does look a bit strange, doesn't it?
Like it's just that's my bag. That's that's my camera angle. I'm too insecure to put my camera there.
No. I quite like that you've got. It's different. You're showing a bit of your setup as well.
Well, yeah, that's the point of it. It looks cool, and they got the lights in the background.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean,
you've got the proper mic as well. You know that. Yeah. So I think you've put that in the right place. But yeah. But again, I really do appreciate you coming on.
It was fun, bro. It was fun.
This was honestly really, really fun. Really good to, get a bit of bit deeper into your sort of content and where it all started.
Well, as this is like a major thing before like a first year. Sorry, I worded that wrongly. This is like This is like a major thing for me, to be fair. So I'd love to come back on at this like years ahead and see where I'm at because I'm not even a year into doing this thing. You know what I mean? So I mean, imagine coming back to this like 2 years from now. See where we are.
Let's get it booked in. I'm down whenever. Let's get it booked in.
Sound?
But give you some time, have that space, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss from today, obviously going forward. But honestly, the support that you've had in here and the support that your community's shown me has been absolutely mental.
It's only 2 p.m. as well. We are streaming like later.
Yeah. it's been absolutely crazy. The amount of followers I've had
You got 1K.
just from you, yeah, it's been
Wait,
it's
you
been
no,
nuts.
wait, 4 away from
I think
1K.
I think I'm only a few away, which
Wait,
again
hold on.
from you guys, like that's crazy. I think I've had something like 20 more followers or something plus from just you. I think that's in itself that's crazy. So again, thank you so much. Again, everyone in the stream, this will be uploaded to YouTube. All of Angus's socials will be on there. So if anyone from my community is not following Angus, please, please, please go and show him some love.
Right, we're literally gonna
Um,
stall. Harry, listen. We're literally gonna
are we?
stall right now. Okay, do you know why?
Okay.
Because I've quoted